Good morning, everyone. It is an honor and a privilege to welcome you all to the Georgetown Starbucks. My name is Samina Barr, and I am a 14-and-a-half-year partner. And you guys have probably met some of my awesome partners downstairs because I am the store manager of this store as well. I'm sure many of you have been customers in our stores, the few stores that we have in DC, just a few. So we are so passionate about coffee and our connection with the customers, but we are first and foremost passionate about the partners, the people that we bring on board. All of our partners, employees at Starbucks, are called partners, and it is just an honor to be have a partnership with you guys. Starbucks is deeply invested in the community for the community of our surrounding stores and being able to offer opportunity to the youth in this community. So it is a privilege and an honor to be partnering with the Washington, D.C.'s community, and it is an honor and privilege for me to now introduce to you guys another strong supporter of our communities and the future of Washington, D.C., Mayor Muriel Bowser. Thank you.
Introduction. Let's hear it for Samina, our manager. Let's give her a big round of applause. Thank you for having us at the Georgetown Starbucks. And it's no surprise to us that you have grown in the ranks at Starbucks for 14 and a half years. And I'm glad to see that you have grown your career with a company from the other Washington. But we like them anyway. Let's give a hand to Starbucks. So today concludes just our special week, but not our focus, on how we get more D.C. residents working. This has been D.C. Works Week. Hasn't it been fantastic? At the beginning of the week, we launched our Infrastructure Academy, and we had a special focus on infrastructure jobs. We talked about how in the last 2.5 years, we've doubled the number of D.C. residents who are going into infrastructure openings. But we also demonstrated that about half of the infrastructure openings were going unfilled. So that demonstrated and put quite a fine point on what we needed to do to train DC residents. We launched a fantastic partnership with Washington Gas and Pepco and Metro and DC Water. These agencies together have billions of dollars worth of work in the coming years to make our metro better, to make our electric infrastructure stronger and more resilient, and to make all of those things sustainable while they're doing the work. But the fantastic opportunity for us is that they're putting DC residents to work while they're doing it. So our more than $16 million commitment to building the Infrastructure Academy is being joined by that private sector investment as well. We also got to talk about our DC apprenticeship program. And we have also been focused on the last 2.5 years about how more DC residents are taking part in those apprenticeship programs. Throughout the week, we have talked about how our unemployment numbers across the district, across all 8 wards of Washington, D.C., have gone in the right direction, which means more D.C. residents are working, and we are going to make sure that Deputy Mayor Snowden and Director Donald tell you all about that as well. Now, what was a good piece of news, we knew that it would come. We didn't know it would come during DC Works Week. Well, at least I didn't. Was that they took us off this list. You know, the federal government has this list. They call it a high-risk list. You don't want to be on it. And what it showed us is that over the years, we were not taking advantage of as much of the federal resources to put young people to work as we could, as we should, and as our residents deserved. So through a lot of hard work and intentional commitment, our team, led by Deputy Mayor Snowden, give her a big round of applause. And Director Donald, give Director Donald a round of applause. and our fantastic staff at the Department of Employment Services. Please recognize and appreciate them. So I'm very proud of the work that we have done together, but we wouldn't be able to do any of it without our private sector partners. And I tell our team all the time, I don't intend to be a part of a system that trains people for jobs that don't exist. We want to look at our employment force. We want to look at the forecast for the jobs that are coming, and we want to make sure that our employees are ready for those jobs. So that's why we're here at Starbucks today to talk about our Workforce Signing Day, to highlight the many DC workforce training programs that are putting employees to work. Let me just give you a couple of numbers. More of our residents have secured employment in the last 2.5 years. And to be specific, 22,300 more DC residents are working since January 2015 when I took office. In just 2.5 years, our unemployment rate has dropped by 1.1%, and the numbers of that decrease have really been driven by more people working in Ward 7 and Ward 8, and we're very proud of that. Our programs have been targeted, not one size fit all, not a big wide net thrown out on everybody, but we're looking specifically at how we can target the programs to the people who need it the most in the ways that they need it. We launched the LEAP program, and the purpose of LEAP is to look at vacancies across DC government that exist and train our residents who are in some other DC government program. It could be TANF, it could be Medicaid, it could be that they need a second chance. And we put them in LEAP. Our human services programs subsidize their employment while they're being trained, and then they qualify to go into that vacancy. That's the LEAP program. We also have a program called Aspire that we started, and Aspire is focused on our residents who have been justice involved and need a second chance. And while they have a lot of skills and talent and energy, they also have fresh ideas for businesses. And Aspire allows them and supports them in opening a new business. I don't have to tell you that well, maybe I do, so I will tell you. We expanded the Marion Barry Summer Youth Program to serve young people ages 22 to 24. I realized very clearly that just because you turn 22 doesn't mean you're quite finished yet, and growing and developing and making good decisions and needing the extra support of caring adults. And that's why we expanded the Marion Barry Summer Youth Program to serve young people ages 22 to 24. And in the 3 summers that I've been mayor, we've served about 900 22 to 24-year-olds in each of those summers. Those are real DC residents going to work. So we also know, and I'm frequently asked this question, DOES programs have helped employ more than 3,700 residents. And we have also made sure that 897 of those residents that have gone through our programs, we can demonstrate have been employed through our DOES programs. And we know that our programs have also served more than 24,000 youth. So we are very proud that businesses like Starbucks and Hyatt Place and Donahoe Hospitality are able to come to us and choose from a highly skilled and trained workforce for the jobs that they need. We know that we have a lot more work to do. And when we look around our city, and let there be no mistake, there's been no better time in Washington, D.C. than this one. We're growing, we're attracting residents, and businesses. We've invested in our schools. We see those investments paying off with higher achievement scores and graduation rates and lower unemployment rates, and crime rates almost 30% lower than they were when I took office. This is a good time in Washington, D.C. But we can only celebrate when we make sure that more Washingtonians are participating in that progress. And that's why I started the office for the Deputy Mayor of Greater Economic Opportunity. And it is Deputy Mayor Snowden's entire job to make sure that all the resources, all the 70 agencies, all the $14 billion that we spend every year, it's her job to make sure that the underserved neighborhoods and the under-resourced people are now getting our attention in a targeted and intentional way. And we're seeing the difference. So it brings me great pleasure to congratulate Deputy Mayor Snowden on the very, very good news from the Department of Labor and invite her to tell us more about signing day.
Well, good morning, or as I like to say, you know it, hey y'all. This is a big day, and it's a big day for a variety of reasons. Much of what the mayor talked about is absolutely true. We have been working incredibly hard to rebuild and revitalize overlooked and underserved communities by helping build our people. And we've seen that in the unemployment numbers decreasing. We've seen it in the great progress that the Department of Employment Services has made. But most importantly, we see it in the residents of the District of Columbia who walk down the street with great pride because now they have job opportunities and jobs that come with a paycheck. We're going to talk to some of those folks today. Now, people have said to me since yesterday, what does it mean that you're off of high risk with the Department of Labor? And I say it means a lot of things, but the most important thing that it means is that we are delivering for district residents, that our agency and our workforce system is finally working. Know why? Because DC works. DC works. And I have some people to thank for that. First, I'd like to thank the former director of DOES, Deborah Carroll, who helped lay the foundation for this work. Odie Donald, who came in and continued to do it even faster, and Unique Morris Hughes, who did yeoman's work in developing a transition team that helped to turn the agency around at the Department of Employment Services. There are lots of other folks here to thank, and I can't name every single one of you, but I want you to know the mayor, myself, our whole team, but most importantly, the residents of this city could not be more grateful to you for the hard work you did to make sure that we got that stamp of approval, because it means we are doing right by our residents. We have a fun job today, and I get the pleasure of introducing someone who really needs very little introduction. He will say he's a good Southern boy from Georgia, but really what he is a visionary that has helped to take our workforce system to the very next level. I am incredibly proud to work side by side with him. I'm incredibly proud to help him implement the mayor's vision to help get our residents back to work, to ensure that residents east of the river in particular are connected to the prosperity that has expanded all across the city, and they get to be a part of it as opposed to watching it happen around them. And I tell you, I couldn't be more proud of this work and this guy. So I want to welcome Director Odie Donald up to give a few remarks and talk about how we did this high-risk thing.
So I guess I'll start off by saying that for change and improvement, it really takes great leadership. And so regardless of all the things we talk about today, I'm honored to be able to work for Mayor Bowser and for Deputy Mayor Snowden. And I think the reason for that is because what you see today and what you see from the Department of Labor is that there is vision at the top and there is leadership that is not only committed to coordinating programs effectively and having a quality system, but that is all people-centered. And so I'll talk about some of the data related to what I would call one of the more historic turnarounds in the history of workforce development, because not many people have been on high risk. And so this, the activities that were inherited by this administration have taken some very strong and strategic strategic principles and activities to really turn it around. And so while we're here at signing day, as a former athlete, which you probably wouldn't believe with all of this belly I'm carrying around, one of the key areas that we have discovered is that partnership really makes things happen. And so one of the first items that I was kind of charged with was really developing a partnership with the Department of Labor to figure out exactly what it means, with the sole purpose of making sure that we're able to come to an event like this today where people see opportunities in real time. And so over the course of the Bowser administration, and so I think our mayor hit on some key points, but I don't know if she really let you know everything that went on, because during her administration, there have been 100,000 people served to date. It's a lot of people, 100,000 people served to date. Of those 100,000 people, that means they have received 300,000 services. That means everything from work readiness, interviews, assisted job search, resume prep. Some of these folks can attest to having mock interviews and things that prepare them with employers. And I think the biggest part of that is that a lot of the work we didn't do, our employers did. And so that's really exciting. In addition to those 300,000 services, to put it in perspective, because it's just a number, that's an increase of 30% year over year during this administration. So that means that not only have more activities been happening, they've been happening quicker and more frequently. And that's a big deal because our residents need that. To also show you some of those things, and I'll just give you a really big number before I kind of turn to today, is that there are more than $831 million in wages that have been earned by DC residents during the Bowser administration. That's a big deal. And so with that, what has happened over this time period is that the Department of Labor said that programs were not being administered appropriately, that eligible people were not actually receiving services, and that we were serving less people than the acceptable level. And instead of that, now, usually you go from high risk to at risk. And so they said, hey, you guys are doing such a good job and your system is in such shape that you are no longer under high risk at all. And so that's a big vote of confidence for our system. And so with that, I think DC Works Week, which is another thing that our mayor has done that hadn't been done before, we are closing out, kind of really highlighting what this partnership looks like. And so we have some very, very important individuals who we get to highlight today that don't always get the recognition, and that's our residents. And so one person who has been committed to our residents is our partner in Starbucks. And so while I only had a chance to meet him maybe about 2 months ago, Mr. Philip Laws, who is the regional director of operations for Starbucks, came to my office, didn't make me come meet with him, told him that they were willing to do anything that it took to not only bring 10,000 jobs to DC residents. He didn't want to wait until September 20th. He said, let's get started today. And so with that, I'll tell you why he's committed to this strong DC workforce system and introduce a great partner to the district.
So thank you so much. I certainly appreciate that. Yeah, I'm Philip Laws. I'm the Director of Operations for Starbucks Coffee Company. And quite frankly, this is an honor to do that. Our mission is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, one neighborhood at a time. So this is an extension of that. We are excited to partner with you, Mayor Bowser, as well as the DOES, and anybody that we can to help people. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. So we are very, very, we do it 365 days a year when you think about it, because it's bigger than coffee for us. We understand the charge that you have. If you start looking at the demographics, you threw out some numbers. There's 4.9 million young adults between the age of 16 and 24 that are not working, unemployed, or can't get employed. So what do you do about that? How do you handle that systemic problem? Well, you do something. You get involved. You create economic opportunities. And that's all we're doing. We appreciate all the work that you're doing. You do need some help. We're in here to help you all along the way. I think you put a plug in it as well. We're going to have an event specifically for Washington, D.C. on September the 20th. Our goal we set out in 2015 was to hire 100,000 youth in that age bracket. So we surpassed that in 2 years going. The goal now is to hire 1 million youth by 2018. So we have went through various cities. We just left Dallas. This is our 6th event. It's here in in D.C. September 20th. The goal is to, again, hire as many people as we can. So we'll have job training. They'll come, they'll sign up, they have job training, people will give them clothes, they have mock interviews. We'll have employers besides Starbucks on the spot and including Starbucks on the spot to hire people. That's how you make a difference. Because if we don't do this now, shame on us, quite frankly. So we're very excited about this opportunity to partner with you all. Anything that we can do, we're certainly here, and it's going to be a great day for these young people. So thank you, Mayor Bauer, I appreciate it. So we'll have the signing now. So I have the honor, again, our word is our bond. Samuel Coffey is one of the people that we just spoke about. So if you would sign your offer of employment, and I want to honor you with our apron. This is our first partner, so thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Look at that apron. That apron looks good.
All right.
Sir. Thank you. Congratulations. And next.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Charles Jones, and I am very excited to have hired Miss Donna Mcdonald. Miss McDonald has come from the LEAP Academy, so we're excited.
Yes. And she signed.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stacy Smith. I'm the general manager at the Hyatt Place National Mall.
Go for it.
This is Rakia Epps. She has worked with us through the DC Career Connections, and we're proud to offer her full-time employment. And she's done an amazing job. And please come get your smock and sign your career.
Hello, my name is Ivy Fauntroy. I'm the Director of Business Management at Access Green. And today we have Rashawn Johnson from Project Empowerment and Kyrie Walker from the Summer Youth Employment Program, who we both hired this week.
Yes.
Good morning. I'm Melinda Bowling from the D.C. Department of Consumer and Regulatory Affairs. I'm here as Carrie Edlin, who was a member of Project Empowerment, and he's now a part of the LEAP program and coming to DCRA on our new abatement team. So welcome, Carrie, and please sign your letter.
And there are 2 other partners I would like to highlight. Corey Gray from DC Water, who has joined us and is also hiring folks today. Please give Corey a big round of applause. And I also know 4 minutes. I also know we have another exciting moment to celebrate. So the other thing I want to just add quickly before we take a lot of pictures up here is that, you know, we're really excited about this high-risk designation removal because of these folks right here. And in 2015, my team and DOES went up to the Department of Labor Regional Office in Philadelphia, and they had notebooks from one end of the table to the other with things that DC had not gotten right. And I said on behalf of our mayor that we would get that right, and we did that. And we are so excited about it because we know that when we get it right, people get connected to opportunity in just this way and get on a pathway to middle class. Soon we'll get you in our home buying clubs and get you buying houses right here in the District of Columbia. So let's take some pictures. We might miss it. Come on, Ford. Yeah, Diane. DOES team.
Oh, absolutely.
Right here. Okay, thank you. Middle.
Director unit. Sure.
Yes.
And them too. I'll get in the back. Director Donald. Switch on that side. Okay. I'm still going to the meeting. All right.
Right here in the middle. 1, 2. Thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you. Well done, DOES.